G'day guys, and welcome back to another episode of Redemption Tackle. Today we're in the backyard and we're looking at restoring an old boat that Jadon had built about 5 years ago, and unfortunately he left it out in the rain and the sun, and it went from what I'm about to show you now, drop a photo in, the beast that he first built into this monstrosity. So we've already cut out the front cast deck because that had gone rotten. As you can see on the gunnel there, I pushed on that and just sort of pulled on a little bit, and that just broke away. It's all wet and rotten in there. The only thing that seems to still be okay is this substructure down here. It seems quite strong, with very little sort of need for repair, except for this other side. I'll show you the false floor that he built. That's going to have to come out, which shouldn't be too difficult considering it's just maybe Sikaflexed in there. So we'll pull that out and replace that, clean it up. We'll get the motor off. I'll try and lift that 30 Tohatsu off myself, store it on the trailer, get it out of the way. It's going to be quite a big job to get this thing back to its former glory, considering how far it's been let go. But look, right for the challenge. I've never done anything like this before. I've never stripped a boat down and rebuilt it. I've cut the deck out of an old boat and things like that, and done a few minor fiberglass repairs, but nothing of this scale. So we're going to learn as we go and take you guys along for the journey. And if it's something you want to keep up with, hit that subscribe button. But for now, we'll get this thing cleaned up, get the battery and the old fuel tank out, get that motor off, and then we'll start cutting, grinding, sanding. And I'm thinking, looking at it, I may have to actually, yeah, look at that, completely remove the entire gunnel section from the boat and basically rebuild the boat from here up, rebuild that front. I'm thinking maybe having the battery either right at the front or maybe in one of the compartments here on the back here, not too sure yet, and the fuel tank up the front. Just with that 30 Tohatsu and my weight down the back, I want to try and keep this boat semi-balanced. We'll probably try and maybe build a live bait tank in here. I think that might be the plan. Build some sort of live bait tank, raise it up, get up to sort of this height, see if there's anything off the shelf that'll just slide straight into this. That'd be ideal. Otherwise I might have to make one myself, but we'll see how we go with that. But yeah, look, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a bit of money. I can't see myself getting away with less than $1,000 to do this. I'd say that's probably being pretty conservative. Marine ply is not cheap. Fiberglass, resin, all the stainless steel fittings, etc., etc. Because I want to do this properly. I don't want to rush it and do it cheaply, and then in a couple of years' time I have to redo it all again because it's kind of pointless. I want this thing to last. I want to get redemption on it, you know, get it back to what Jadon would have wanted, and start fishing this thing up north in the flats, what it was designed for. And it's going to be a little weapon again. So yeah, alright, well, let's get into it. We'll start cleaning it out and ripping stuff out of it and see how we go and discover all the nasties that he's left in here, and we'll go from there. We'll make a plan. We'll build a new cast deck up the front, storage, rebuild the hatches for the back, put all the hatches in here. Yeah, I'll keep the cast deck the same size because the structure's already there. I'll just sand it all back, get a new sort of blank canvas. This front platform seems pretty good. Doesn't seem too bad. A little bit of delamination on top, but we'll be able to peel that away and see. Otherwise, I'll probably have to cut that out as well. And then strip this all down. I'll pull the boat off the trailer too, because I want to check underneath the hull where the rollers are sitting. I don't trust that they're in good condition where it's sitting on the rollers. There's too much pressure in some points. So I'm going to have to redesign the trailer a bit to actually suit this boat, because it's not really suited for it. You can actually kind of see under there now there's a bit of damage where that roller is, so that's a little bit concerning, but nothing hopefully we can't fix. And then we'll give the trailer a birthday. The outboard needs a full service. It hasn't been started in God knows how long, so we'll give that a service. We might even try and give it a paint job, maybe see if we can get some more or some new stickers online, make that thing look newish. But we'll see. I might get PK Boat Services to have a look at it, see what he says about it, see if it's even worth restoring. I mean, I'm assuming it would be, but probably pick up a, I don't know, maybe a 15 or a 24 stroke, reasonably cheap, and repower this thing, and then it'd be a great little boat then. We'll fit out some nav lights, anchor light, electric troll motor. So I'm gonna redesign the front of this boat and build a square section here for the trolley motor to mount onto. Yeah, fit the battery, wiring, electrics. There's a lot of work. It's gonna be a lot of work. So, all right. Well, that's it, guys. That's the rundown of it. That's the boat. I'll chuck in some photos now of when he was building it from start to finish. He built this thing from the ground up. Got an old hull, used it as a template, and then designed and built this thing from the ground up. It's really good. He did a lot of work, but he's obviously cut a few corners up the top and then left it out in the rain, and yeah, it is what it is now. It's a bit sad. Alright, the battery of the GoPro died unfortunately, so you missed a bit of me ripping this boat apart, but let's just say it involved a lot of hammering and swear words. But we've got there. All the carpet's out, all the gunnels are gone. Looking back at this, it's not too bad. There's a little bit of wetness up here, which is a little bit worrying, up around the bow section, especially here. So I'm gonna do a bit of sanding, pull it back, see how far it is. We should be able to fiberglass that up and patch it up. I'll finish cutting out these corners on both sides. This here, it's not the prettiest thing, but I think a bit of sanding, a bit of rework, we'll pull that out, and then I'll sweep the boat out, get rid of all the rubbish. I'll pull it up there, get my pressure washer out, give it a birthday, and then from there we'll look at about 3 or 4 days worth of sanding, I reckon. By the time I get this thing back to a blank canvas that's good enough to work with. It's pretty average. And the more wood that I found, I'm not entirely sure if he was using marine grade ply in some of the build. And he hasn't, if he hasn't used marine grade, then he hasn't sealed it properly either. But that's alright. We'll crack into it. It's going to be a long process, it's not going to be an overnight job. Probably looking at a couple of months, I'd say, before I even get this thing close to being water ready. So we'll keep cracking on, and I'll give you guys updates. But for now, that'll be the end of the first episode, and then we'll kick off again hopefully next week. I'll have some more updates, I'll do some more work, and I'll just keep ticking along. So hit that subscribe button, keep up to date, drop some comments if you've got any good ideas for some deck layouts. I'm thinking, yeah, probably putting the battery maybe there, fuel tank there, and then if I put a hatch up here, I'll be able to store safety gear and dry stuff up here. He's actually blocked this off, which is where the anchor would sit, and he's drilled a terrible little hole just down there for the water to run through. So I'll fix that up and put an actual pipe, maybe even just one that goes straight to the outside of the hull, so when if you pull the anchor up or you cop water over the front of the boat, it'll at least disperse properly. And then same within here, we'll make sure there's plenty of water run away. If they do get wet, they can hopefully disperse most of the water, and it won't be such a big problem in the future. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that, and we'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.